Please, Mounir, can you tell us if a foreigner can invest in real estates in Morocco?
Apart from the agriculture land, the foreigner can invest in any type of real estate that exists in the city, whatever it is. It is an apartment, it is a villa, it is a riad, it is a land, whatever exists in the city, he can invest in it. He can invest directly and then he can invest indirectly. Directly, it means that he invests on his name, and indirectly, it means that he will create a company and then he will invest on the name of the company. Each one, it has advantage and disadvantage, but the best one, it depends on what he wants to achieve through this investment. And the foreigner, he doesn't need a residential ID, or he doesn't need to live in Morocco, or an authorization to invest in Morocco. He needs just to come, invest, and he can manage his investment through his while he is living in his hometown country.
We heard about economic apartment that exists in the cities. Can a foreigner invest in
That's
them?
a very good question, because a lot of foreigners, when they come to Morocco, they ask me this the same question. And before to answer you yes or no, I need to explain to you what we mean by economic apartment. Economic apartment, it was a program that was launched by the government since 2005, and the objective of it was to stop the expansion of shantytown and to give to Moroccan citizens that they have a low income the opportunity of owning a property. And to consider an apartment as an economic apartment, it has some conditions, which are it doesn't need to exceed 25,000 euro for the price of it, and it doesn't need to exceed 60 meters square. If it exceeds all of this, it is considered as a middle standard, not economic apartment. This program, it has astonishing result, and the government helped the Moroccan citizens to own them by exempt them from the taxes, which is about like 5,000 euros. But they need to respect some conditions, which are to live in it for 5 years and to not sell it, to not rent it. So he needs to prove that he needs it for living in it. And then after, he can demand the discharge of taxes. For the foreigner, he can buy them, but he will not be able to benefit from the exempt of the taxes. So he will need to pay the 5,000 euros to the government. So the answer is yes. He can invest on the economic apartment.
Okay, now how can the foreigner transfer his money to Morocco to invest?
This is, I will tell you, this is the most easy thing he can do in Morocco. He can open a convertible account in a snap of fingers. He can choose whatever bank he wants to open in it, and he make a demand for opening a convertible account. And after, when he finds the real estate that he wants to invest in it, he will send the money through his home bank to the convertible account. And before to do that, the foreigner needs to know that he can negotiate the rate of the currency with the bank. So to have the best rate with this bank. And he can make a demand of a check and a Visa card. And my advice to a foreigner is that he needs always to take on consideration the delay of the arriving of the money from his home account to the convertible account, because sometimes it take 5 days, sometimes it take 10 days. So he needs to pay attention before to sign any check, that he makes sure that the money it exists in his convertible account.
Does the foreigner need a survey when he wants to invest in Morocco?
Of course, he needs a survey. In any investment, you need a survey. The research it gives you two things, which is very important, especially in the investment for real estate. First of all, the confidence. You will have the confidence for that investment. And remember, my first investment in real estate, I was with a friend, and he was supposed to buy this apartment, and we went to it. We had a visit, and after the visit I saw that he had confidence in himself. So I saw it. I was really amazed by the finishing, the place. It was perfect. Everything was perfect in it. So I told him, if you don't buy it, I will buy it. And I saw that, the lack of confidence, it was eating him. It was bigger than him. And he was afraid from missing some opportunities which might exist in the other part of projects. And I bought that apartment, and after 6 months, he came back to me. He told me what happened about this apartment. I want to buy it. I told him it's too late. I bought it, and I told him about the return of investment, and he was regretting for not taking my advice at that time. So that's why it's important that the research is need to made very quickly, because opportunities it exist, and you need to be as fast as the opportunities, and to take them. Sometimes some people, they want to invest, but the research, it take them like 1 year, 2 years, 4 years. And this is what is bad about it, is that the excitement, when the research takes too long, the excitement go, and it become like a dream. Investment, it become like a dream, and it never happened. That's why the research is very important. And also it's important to know how to evaluate the meter square of the area and apartment and everything. And we are lucky nowadays. We have the internet. We can gather so much information by using the internet, and also we can go to the place where we want to invest, to have a look in the reality, the offers that exist in it. And we can gather some informations and see people, and then ask the question that we want to have answers for them. And I think the best thing is to go to the place, and make a research in the place, so you can gather so much information, and you can see the opportunity, the real opportunity that exists in that place. Sometimes those opportunities, it doesn't exist in the internet. So that's why I prefer that the real life research.
What are the mistakes a foreigner should avoid when he wants to invest in real estate?
As we said, some common mistake that it happens is that when the foreigner, he can not know how to evaluate the meter square in the area, so he can overpay the price of the real estate, which is a bad investment. And sometimes when the foreigner, he wants to invest, especially in an apartment or in a villa or something like this. So and that property, it has a tenant inside. So before to complete the transaction, he needs to make sure that the tenant moved out from that property. That's very important. Other mistake is that to avoid to sign something which you don't know what it is inside of it. It's always better to have a lawyer, because here in Morocco, all the people are made in Arabic and in French. And English people, when they want to invest, they need to have a lawyer who can knows the rule of investing in property and the law of real estate, and who know how to talk in English. This is for me is a good lawyer, and then who can give a good advice to the foreigner, and assist him in his investment, and to make him avoid 50% of the mistake that it can be made, like in an easy way. And other mistake that it can be made is that not to buy what is titled property. Here in Morocco, for a foreigner, especially for a foreigner, he needs to buy what it has a title. If it doesn't have a title, he needs to avoid it. And the payment of the investment, he needs to give it through the notary. Always he give it to the notary, and then the notary, he will give it to the seller, after making sure of that the transaction everything is good in it. I think those are the most mistake. And then my advice to the foreigner, he needs to pursue his common sense every time. If he doesn't understand something, and then it doesn't make sense for him, he needs to avoid it. Yeah.